Hello and welcome to the Current India. In this video, we will show you how to report a lost item with the Delhi Police or how to file a lost report with the Delhi Police. So for this, we need to start with accessing the Delhi Police online portal. As you see up here in the address bar, delhipolice.nic.in. That is the URL that you have to enter in your browser to access the Delhi Police portal. Once you enter that, you can even search that in Google and you would find a link to the website opening up. Once you click on the link, this is the page that is going to open up in front of you. Now in this, what we have to access is this particular option called Citizen Services. So we click on the Citizen Services option and you can see all the different kind of online services offered by the Delhi Police. Now there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind when you're going to report a lost item. The first thing is for you to identify whether your item was lost or misplaced or whether it was stolen. Like whether if you're sure that it was stolen, it was subject to a theft. This is the first thing that you have to identify and that determines which option are you going to choose. If your item was stolen or if it was subject to a theft, if your mobile phone got stolen or if your wallet got stolen and you're sure that it was stolen, you need to file an EFIR. This is the option that you have to select. However, in cases where you're unsure whether your item was stolen or if you have just misplaced it, or if you know that it was not stolen, you have just misplaced it or lost it somewhere, then the option that you have to choose is the lost and found option, where you can go ahead and report your loss with the Delhi Police. Now, a couple of things to remember with the lost and found reporting process. The easiest part of this is you do not have to be a registered user. You don't have to have a login ID, etc., to report a lost, to file a lost report here. However, you do need to know a couple of things. One is the details of the property that you have lost, the place where you lost it, right, and the date primarily of when you lost your item. So these are the basic things that you need to know before you go ahead and file a lost report. Let's go ahead and see what options are there under this particular online service. So when you have to report a loss, say for example, you misplaced your mobile phone or your wallet. So how do you report it? You click on this option, lost and found, which will take you to this particular page. Now you will see two different options given here. You can report a lost article. The portal also allows you to report an article that you have found without the owner, right? So you can also report a found article there that will also be registered. The actions taken by the police for when you make each of these reports are slightly different. When you make a lost article report here, when you register a lost article report, it is merely for a information purpose. The report will be taken on record by the police and the information will be registered. But please do note that there won't be any investigation started immediately because it's just a lost report. As we mentioned earlier, it is not linked to a theft particularly. So since it is not linked to any offense, any confirmed offenses, there won't be an investigation that will be mandatorily initiated. That will not happen. However, the report will be registered and the details of the lost article will be taken on record by the police. On the other hand, when you find an article, anything within the jurisdiction of Delhi, and when you make a report of a found article, you will have to follow one or two additional steps in there. In terms of, one is, once you register your found article here, you have to go through a OTP verification process. You have to enter your mobile number, get the OTP verified, and then enter the details of the found article, number one. Two, once you register, the police station will contact you. And three is you will have to deposit the found article at your nearest police station. You don't really have to bother where you found it and all that. You just have to, wherever you are, whenever you're reporting, you just have to deposit at your nearest police station. So this, when you're reporting a found article, it actually involves an additional step right, of visiting the police station and actually depositing the item there. We will start with focusing on how to report a lost article. So this is the option that you have to click on. It says register. We will also look at how to retrieve a lost article. You have some very useful FAQs here which you can click and see if you have any doubts on how to report a lost article. For the purpose of this video, we will go ahead and click on the register option. When you click the register option, this is the page that will open up in front of you. And this is the only detail that you will be required to fill in for reporting a lost article. It's pretty simple. It will take you like 5 minutes of time to submit this report. It will start with the complainant's name. So if you're reporting, it should be your name, your parentage, the father's, mother's name, your address, your mobile number is optional, your email ID is mandatory, because once you submit a lost report, you will get a copy of the lost report in a PDF form to your email ID. The place of loss in Delhi. You can always keep in mind that even if you do not know the exact place of loss, if you know the overall locality, please mention that. The date of loss. Again, the day is not mandatory. However, you need to mention the month and the year accurately. The time of loss, again, you need to enter it only if it is known to you. If you are unsure about it, we recommend that you do not enter this detail. When you're mentioning the article, now, for example, if you have lost your bag or a wallet, right? When you lose a wallet, there are multiple things that you might end up losing along with it. So let's see what all. If you have your Aadhaar card in it, you could possibly lose your Aadhaar card or your PAN card. Some people tend to keep the mobile phone inside a wallet or your purse, so you could lose that. Along with that, if you lose your mobile, you lose your SIM card. Sometimes you have your driving license with it. So depending on the item that you have lost, you may have to enter more than one here. So once you enter a detail, for example, if we select, say, laptop, right, you have the option of giving a description here. And then if you select the option mobile, when you select the option mobile, actually you get multiple columns appearing. You have the option to give your IMEI number, your mobile number, the number that you were using with that particular mobile phone, the lost date. You can give the details and the type of mobile phone, right? Once you have entered these, you can click on add. And then if you have lost your identity card or driving license or anything like that, you can click on the add button and then you can enter that. Now, because I have not entered any details, this pop-up is appearing. We'll just click on close there. But you get the general idea here, right? So that is how you keep on adding. So as many items that you have lost, you can keep adding it. Any of the details that you're not able to enter here, any additional details or any additional information that you would like to provide the police, you can enter the description here. This is a descriptive column. Once you have entered this, there is a captcha space here. You need to enter the captcha here. Once you enter the captcha, you click on submit, and that completes your police report for reporting a lost article. This is all that you have to do to report a lost item in Delhi. Take a note of these few points here. This is merely for lodging a report. This is not a subject matter of an inquiry or investigation. Here, the reason they are mentioning this is because Delhi is one of those states where, as I mentioned earlier, you can even file an EFIR. So if your item was stolen, what you have to file is an FIR. And if you file an FIR, that is a report on which the police are mandatorily required to start an inquiry and undergo an investigation. However, if it is a mere loss of property with no theft or any other offense related to it, what you do is you go through this process and file a lost report, where the police will definitely take your report on record. However, there will not be any inquiry or investigation initiated on it. So the question that comes to mind is, then what is the whole purpose of filing a lost report, right? If there is no investigation or inquiry launched based on this report. What happens is, when you file a lost report, as I said, it will be taken on record. So that file will be maintained with the Delhi police. And whenever somebody reports a found item, you can always even do a search in the database of the found item. That there will be a cross search that happens when a found item is reported. There will be a cross search that happens between these two databases, the database of a lost item, the lost article report, and the database of a found item, so that once the details are cross matched, the person who has reported a lost report can be contacted and informed. As a person who has reported a lost item, even you can do a search for in the database of the found articles to see whether somebody has reported actually your lost item as found. So that is the benefit of reporting a lost item. The other important benefit of reporting a lost item is to ensure that your lost item is not misused. If at all it is misused, you do not get into trouble because of a item that belonged to you which got misused. Sometimes you will lose a mobile phone, you may lose an identity card, you may lose a credit card, right? These items, when you lose it, it's very easy for people to misuse them. And these items can always be tracked back to you. So once that happens, to ensure that you do not get into trouble, it is very important that you go ahead and report your item as lost. That is all there is to this process. So the reporting process is pretty simple. Now let's go back and see how to retrieve a lost report detail. Once you click on submit, you will get an PDF digitally signed lost report, which will come to the email address that you have entered here. Now that is a valid document. If you have to apply for a duplicate, right, that document is a valid document. You can use it for that. A lot of times several authorities require you to submit a lost report copy for you to be issued a duplicate document or a duplicate SIM card, whichever as applicable, right? So this lost report, the digitally signed lost report, the PDF format that you receive, becomes a valid document for that purpose. Now let's see how to retrieve the details. I'm going back on this page. Let's click on the retrieve option. When you click on the retrieve option, you see the two details that you have to enter. When you submit your lost report, as I mentioned earlier, you would get a PDF copy of your lost report, and in that you will have something called a LR number or a lost report number. That is one thing that you need to mandatorily know to search the details and status of your lost report. You enter your LR number here, you enter your email ID here, and then you click search. The details of your lost report will be sent to your email ID as well. There are a few FAQs here which will be useful. You can check that out. That is how you lodge a lost report or register a lost report and get the details of a lost report. Now we will quickly just go through how to register a found article also. There are two options here. One, you can register a found article, and then there is this value, useful FAQs here. When you click on the register option, the first thing you'll have to do is enter your mobile number. Once you enter your mobile number and click on send, you will receive an OTP. Once you enter the OTP, that is when you get the option to enter the details of your found articles, and then you can submit, and the process gets completed there. Once you hit submit, you will be contacted by the nearest police station. They will ask you for details, and then you have to, as we mentioned earlier, the one additional step, or detraction from the complete online process, is that you actually will have to visit your nearest police station to deposit the article that you have found. Please note that these are for articles found or lost within the jurisdiction of Delhi. If you have lost anything, or if you have found an article outside the jurisdiction of Delhi, you cannot report any of these within the Delhi police portal. So please do keep that in mind. We have provided a direct link to accessing the citizen services website of the Delhi police in the description below. You will also find the short steps on how to file a lost article report and what to do in case you find an article, and how to report a found article with the Delhi police. The description is given in the link below. You will also find detailed step-by-step process and useful videos on how to report a theft. or how to file an online FIR with the Delhi police. So please do check that out. We hope this video has been useful for you to report a lost article, in understanding the process of how to report a lost article with the Delhi police. Thank you so much for your time.